The Dogs, in association with the British Greyhound Racing Board.
Well, it's one of Greyhound Racing's nights of the year. It's the Racing Post Festival Grand Finals night. With all the action coming up on this week's edition of The Dogs, we've got festival fever.
Also on this week's programme, the complete first round heats of the Coral Essex Vase. We find out about the man behind Larkhill Bird.
Nick Savva can walk on a dog track, and he's Nick Savva. Charlie Lister walks on a dog track, it's Charlie Lister. I walk on a dog track and I'm just the fella that looks after Larkhill Bird.
And we're off to Hove for the final of the BRIGHTON BELLE run last week.
Racing Post Festival, one of the highlights of the Greyhound calendar, and a special buzz this year with both Spirit and Louis and Barnfield on Air on show. But for stars of the future, look no further than the Tote Sport Puppy Stakes final. Ronnie's Hustle went off favourite.
Away they go, running up towards the turn. Mustang Garcia way okay. Westmead Tina's quite handy, so is for Vito Blue as they go around the turn. Mustang Garcia gets first run. Mustang Garcia goes on, but Westmead Tina in behind and looking a big threat as they go down towards the third turn. Mustang Garcia tries to raise the stakes here and goes 2 lengths up from Westmead Tina, still hovering though. After he's a gap back to 1, that's Ronnie's Hustle. They come around the final bend. Mustang Garcia taken on by Westmead Tina. Mustang Garcia, Westmead Tina and Mustang Garcia. It's tight between Westmead Tina and Mustang Garcia.
The Oaks is the next stop for Westmead Tina, and she proved a great winner on the night, as did Dan Little and Tangiers Sovereign in the Shetland Pony Race. It's a major part now of Racing Post Festival Grand Finals night, and well done to all who took part and helped make it a special evening. 2 out of 2 though for Dan. And special is what Spirit and Louis has been this year, as Lorraine Sams' St Ledger winner went for gold again in the VC Bet Marathon Final. Old rival Bubbly Kate headed the opposition. My old mate Errol Blythe provides the commentary.
And away they go, racing up towards the first bend. Spirit on Louis ping down in front, and Spirit on Louis is going to lead round the first bend here from 3. Genesis Alex in second place. After these comes 6 back in third. Centaur Fuji as they head down the far side then and approach the third bend. And Spirit on Louis on the inside is holding Genesis Alex at this vital stage of the race. After these comes 6 Centaur Fuji, and then we've got Bubbly Kate back in 4th place. They go past the stands with a lap to go. Now Spirit on Louis still with the advantage in a length still from 3. Genesis Alex, and then comes Centaur Fuji. After these comes Bubbly Kate. They come round the 6th bend, and it's still Spirit on Louis with this lead of a length. Centaur Fuji's running a big race on the outside. After these comes 3 Genesis Alex, but as they come round the second last bend now, stamping his class, Spirit on Louis has gone 2.5 lengths clear from Centaur Fuji. After these comes Shine Fantasy that's keeping on. They come round the final turn up towards home. Spirit on Louis does it. He led from trap to wire and wins by 3.5 lengths in the VC Bet Marathon Final. Well done to Louis, another feather in his cap.
The 640-metre trap record holder wins at the festival over 8:35 and is not finished yet for the year. But win or lose, Barnfield on Air signed off in the VC Bet Invitation as the fastest thing on 4 legs aimed to end his 2007 campaign in style. He took on a decent field, including Goodwood Cup winner Astute Gift and up-and-coming Rio Quando. But posting track records for fun, Barney went off a 1-2 chance.
And away they go, and racing on towards the first bend, and Barnfield on Air has trapped out brilliantly, showing great pace up also those Mars 10 and Kindred Sparky, but he's got the inside route now, Barnfield on Air, and he should do the biz as well as they go down past halfway. Barnfield on Air by 2.5 lengths over Noirs 10 in second. After these comes 3 Milding Flash. They come around the second last bend, and it's Barnfield on Air with this 2.5 length lead over Noirs 10 in second. All the way success for Barnfield on Air. A true champion performance from Barnfield on Air. It's gone to a photo for second. winning the VC Bet Invitation.
You know, I think he's the fastest dog this country's seen for many years.
Covering a few bitches, you were saying, maybe?
Yeah, we'll give him a little break now, give him a rest now, and then cover a few bitches in the winter, you know. But the main priority is just to give him a little break, give him a little rest, because I think he deserves it.
Got any particular bitches in mind, though?
No, but if he does make bitches, they'd only be good proven bitches, you know, and he won't make too many either.
Trying to find another one, is that what you're saying?
It'd be nice to find another Barnfield there made by himself, wouldn't it? But he's irreplaceable, you know. I've never seen a dog as quick as him, and his record this year has been incredible as well. You know, he's been absolutely outstanding.
It's been an amazing year for Barnfield on air. He'll be back in 2008, aiming for the 3 derbies. Can't wait. Larkhill Bird has been a major force on the open race scene for a couple of seasons now. She's trained by Michael WALSH near Carlisle. Michael's been involved in greyhound racing for some 40 years, but only took out a licence 2 years ago. Why the wait?
Purely business commitments restricted us to being really serious, because if you've got a family, you've got the kids to feed, you have a mortgage, and to the commitment the ground racing needed, I couldn't give it. Obviously, I had some good dogs and a lot of enjoyment, but my dogs were never ever to the peak, and it was only 2.5 years ago I decided that tomorrow is promised to nobody, and I'm going to live for today. And I did.
Larkhill Bird was bred in Australia and bought by Michael from the late Pat Whelan. He knew she'd make a great stayer, but with enough pace to drop down in distance, as they did for the Midland Oaks at Hall Green last year. Some people thought it was a touch ambitious, but watch her go from 3.
We were laughed at for doing that, but we knew she was a strong finisher. And make no mistake, Shelbourne Pooper, that was a good dog, but there was a lot of other good dogs in it. But she's a determined little bitch. It was her own, surely determination to put her through that.
And Larkhill Bird finishing strong. Larkhill Bird getting up to win the Wafcol Midlands Oak final.
And I wouldn't be frightened, even to this day of going back, to a stiff 4 bends. It would have to be a stiff 4 bends, you know.
Her biggest win, though, on Sky and over 6 bends was in the Bet Direct Prestige earlier this year.
Entering the home straight, Westmead Olivia leading from Larkhill Bird. They're pulling on now. Up towards the winner line, it's going to be desperately close. Larkhill Bird on the inside by a head.
The Prestige triumph added to success in the Yorkshire St Ledger at Doncaster, a feat repeated this year when she defeated a high-class field to defend her title.
She's a bitch that needs a lot of work, which proved it this year at Doncaster. She ran on the Tuesday, and she was beaten off Shelbourne Reaney. Now 3 days later she came out, and the run had done her the world of good. You know, she ran in the final, which she won it, and then I ran her at Bellevue afterwards. Now that's the only time I felt she was taxed, not tired, but taxed.
What about the Cock of the North final at Bellevue, where she failed to pick up Charlie's Dream? Everyone thought coming off the final bench she'd pull away. Was there a similar issue there for her?
Purely beaten by a better dog on the night. Purely beaten by a better dog. I was gutted when I had to shake hands with Curious, man. But no, Otto Curious, it's a sport where, as you know, you get beat in football, you've got to shake the opposition's hand. And it's the same in dog racing. There's a lump in your throat and you're shaking hands with them, wanting to hit them. But no, to be honest, she was purely beaten by a better bitch on the night, you know. Charlie's Dream was on song, and good luck to them. They had done a better job than I did getting her ready.
If her racing career was to end tomorrow, would she owe you anything?
Far from it, no. No, you can't put a price on what she's given us. I mean, to be honest, this time next year, if Larkhill Bird wasn't running, you wouldn't know me. You won't. It's only the bird that's gave us this enjoyment and pleasure. And what price do you put on pleasure? You can't. You know, you can't buy it. You can only get it. And the pleasure that she has given us it's way beyond belief. You know, what she's done. Pat Whelan done us a favour selling us her. And I'll to be honest, I'll never ever forget him for that.
Are you now desperately going out to find that replacement for Larkhill Bird?
Virtually impossible. The only way I think would breed one. It is a nice feeling that to take a good dog on the track and think, you know, I mean, the luxury of Nick Savva, what he's bred, he can go on a track with 4 dogs and have the same feeling 4 times. Larkhill Bird gives us that once. So you're obviously looking for better dogs, but they would have to be in the north of England. You know, I couldn't have London dogs, put it that way, travel to London and that. I could win a Scottish derby if I had the right dog, but as I've said, I'll never win an English derby. Not from here, I won't.
That right dog for Scotland could be Michael's Zigzag Zipper, seen here winning a valuable final at Coventry recently. He's currently off the track, but big things are expected of him.
Zigzag Zipper, he's starting to give us a lot of pleasure. He's actually shown the potential that we knew he had, and it's starting to come out now. He asked, Mr. Pickering asked us to take the dog to Ireland, which are willingly done, but on hindsight, unknown to me, the dog had a virus, and it makes you look, it made us look kind of foolish when you think what they're taking that over to Ireland for. But it was convenient. It was 3 hours to Holyhead, an hour and a half over there into Dunleary, and then into Shelbourne, no problems. It was actually easier going to Shelbourne than it was to Wimbledon or Walthamstow. For us, it wasn't as tiring. But the dog had a virus, and I've never seen a virus like it. In fact, the dog's head went twice its size. Believe it, he looked like a Doberman when I went to the kennel, which I can laugh about now because the vets and antibiotics, and they've all cleared that. Touch wood, he should prosper, and I think, not to be clever, I think he will be a very, very, very good dog next year.
Michael has just 4 dogs in kennels set up at home, so personal attention is plentiful. As with all successful operations, routine is key. But the smaller kennel affords more one-to-one. An assistant trainer, young Jimmy here, helps Michael get the best out of his dogs. Tried and tested feeding, mixed with modern training methods, help Larkhill Bird and her kennel mates to produce the goods on the track. But does Michael have any other ambitions in the game?
Now, well, everybody's ambition is, it's the one word, the derby, isn't it? And it's the one word. I mean, Charlie Lister and Savva, I mean, they're probably sick of winning derbies. And but the likes of Mark Wallace and people like that, the Julie Batesons, we'd all want, I'll never win an English derby, but I would have the pleasure of a Scottish derby, purely because, as I've said, the geography of where we are in Britain, you know, everybody's cup of tea, but the derby's got to be the main thing, you know.
Even if the derby doesn't come his way, Michael still has plenty to look forward to. There's the 2 kennel stars, plus the unexposed Castle Cromer and Rycroft Cheetah. And hopefully the good times will continue for the Walsh camp.
Last year and this year, it's the pinnacle. All the years I've been in it, I've never had the pleasure that I've had this last 2 years, and it's purely down to one man, the wheeling, and one bitch, the bird. It's purely, that's the last 2 years I've had have been more than exceptional. Worth getting up for on a morning, put it that way.
Coming up after the break, full first round action from the Coral Essex Vase. Well, welcome back. Hove last Thursday staged the £2,500 Roy Pook Brighton Belle, a race restricted to bitches, and Derek Knight trained the odds-on favourite Jazz Hurricane, drawn in Trap 3. She was runner-up in this race last year behind Lady Sky. Away they go and racing up towards the first bend. Good start there from 4, Sansu Key. Also pacing up well on the inside is 2, that's Shelbourne Pooper. It's getting pretty rough there as they head down the far side. Shelbourne Pooper out in front. Jazz Hurricanes barged her way through into a disputing second there with on the outside Belinda's Floss as they come around the second last bend. Shelbourne Pooper being challenged on the outside by Belinda's Floss. Here comes a Jazz Hurricane that's barged her way through again. And now Jazz Hurricane goes on. She's streaking clear. It's Jazz Hurricane winning the Brighton Belle, beating Belinda's Floss. What a brave and gutsy bitch she is. Broke the track record at Walthamstow earlier in the year, won the circuit and the Olympic, and now the Brighton Belle. They come round the second last bend. Eye on the Veto leading here by 2.5 lengths over 3. Westmead Aoife off in chase and now flying as the line comes up. Eye on the Veto's pulling out more to win by a length. Eye on the Veto winning last year's Essex Vase, already successful this year over track and distance, winning the Champion Stakes. He goes to traps a little bit later on. We begin though with Heat 1 and St Ledger runner-up and Racing Post Stayers winner. Lenson Joker was the 2-5 favourite in trap 4. It was then 5-1 bar. Away they go and racing up towards the first bend and away fast. Lenson Joker's pacing up well here from 1, St John's Flyer. Not a lot of room there for 2, Special Deal, slightly crowded. Further trouble in behind. Fitzroy Sydney certainly involved as they pass the stands and a lap to go. And Lenson Joker has built on the lead. Surely there's no catch in Lenson Joker. Out clear here, leading by about 4 lengths over St John's Flyer in second. Then comes Special Deal and a long gap back to the others. They come around the second last bend and it's Lenson Joker coming home all by himself here with a good 6-length advantage around the final bend. Lenson Joker has hacked up from St John's Flyer and Special Deal. In Heat 2, Seamus Gaunt's 2006 Derby semi-finalist and more recently Blue Square Cup finalist Larkhill Jim was the 11-10 favourite ahead of White Bomber and Discreet Cat, both at 7-2. Up go the lids and away they go. Larkhill Jim not too well away, but good pace up. It's going to lead into the first turn here. Moving up into second place on the outside, Talking to You. Moving a little bit wide there at the second bend, Larkhill Jim. Just a few problems there for Talking to You and also Go Marco Polo in behind. After these comes 5, that's Chacalac Fortax. Heading down the far side final time, and it's Larkhill Jim with a 2-length advantage over Go Marco Polo, who's moving up on the inside there of Talking to You. Good middle pace from that greyhound. White Bomber staying on, but surely too late as they come round the final bend. Larkhill Jim all out. Go Marco Polo just can't get there. Larkhill Jim beats Go Marco Polo. White Bomber for third. Well, the betting was very tight at the head of the market for Heat 3 with Fear Robin and Dainty Prince both at 9-4. Larkhill Sammy close up at 5-2. Comes the hare, there they go, and racing out towards the first bend. Dainty Prince out fast here. Thatcher's Boy broke well. Slightly crowded going into the bend though, and moving up on the inside is Eye on the Power. That goes into second. Thatcher's Boy third. After these comes Larkhill Sammy back in fourth. Hopefully outpaced early Lethal Luxury. So they go around the turn. There was trouble there for Fear Robin at the bend. It's dropped back to be maybe last as they head down the far side. And the lead here, and a long lead with Dainty Prince. Some 7 lengths clear here for Julie Luckhurst. She was just out of luck recently with Go Marco Polo, but she looked as though she's going to score here with Dainty Prince. Some 2.5 lengths clear from Eye on the Power for second, and just grabbing third, that was Lethal Luxury. Well, in Heat 4 of the Essex Vase, Baron Mustang, who'd beaten Eye on the Veto in a recent prep race for this competition, was sent off the 10-11 favourite in trap 4 for trainer Gary Baggs. The market suggested that the main danger was Barnfield Slippy. Away they go, and good pace here from 6 Swift East, and better pace coming from Erinaceous Rapid. That goes on. Oh, there's trouble at the bend. Both Barnfield Slippy and Baron Mustang towards the rear now. That bother as they go round the second turn and building on the lead. Erinaceous Rapid, she's got a 4-length advantage over Kalanga Flyer off in chase in second. A break of 2.5 lengths back to Blonde Jack. After these comes Baron Mustang heading down the far side, and the lead with Erinaceous Rapid. She's got a 2.5 length lead. Kalanga Flyer though is sticking to its task well and closing as they come around the final bend. Erinaceous Rapid being joined by Kulanga Flyer. Gets up to win. Kulanga Flyer from Erinaceous Rapid. Blonde Jack in third. Gold collar winner Vatican Jinky was made the 10-11 favourite for Heat 5 of the Essex Vase. Racket Hall Holly, who'd recently broken the 659-metre track record at Yarmouth, was second in at 3-1. racing as they race up towards the first bend. A good start there from trap 4, Brickfield Dream, pacing up Vatican Jinky on the inside. After these, there's a little bit of bumping between these two. 6 out wide, backed by Daylight. Also 3 making a bit of progress dead against the rails. Fabregas there. A break back to 5, Talking Tina, and Racket Hall Holly outpaced down the far side they go. And the lead here now with Vatican Jinky. He's gone 3 lengths clear from 4, Brickfield Dream in second. After this comes 3, Fabregas. They come around the second last bend, and it's one-way traffic as Vatican Jinky in full cry now is away and gone. Vatican Jinky powering up the home straight, wins by a good 6 lengths from Brickfield Dream. Fabregas just in third. Defending champion Eye on the Veto for Mark Wallace was the 1-2 favourite for the last heat. Droopy's Nelson, who'd run well in defeat behind the favourite recently, was the 2-1 second favourite. It was then 20-1 bar. Away they go, and what a start from Eye on the Veto. Elastic from the traps, already 4 lengths clear going into the first bend. Velvet Odd Eldorado moves up into second place. General crowding in behind. Droopy's Nelson was done no favours. Swift Mabel's in third as they cross the line with a lap to go. And the lead here with Eye on the Veto. He's not going to rest this crown too easily. He's some 5 lengths clear here from Velvet Eldorado, who offers no more now. After these comes Swift Mabel, but a perfect start for the defending champion. Eye on the Veto has hacked up after that brilliant trapping display. Eye on the Veto the winner. Second place Swift Mabel, just hanging on for third Velvet Eldorado. The first and third in the anti-post betting, Eye on the Veto and Vatican Jinky, line up in the first semi-final. Sectional suggests that Eye on the Veto will be away and gone, but will he trap out as fast as he did in the first round? Both Dainty Prince and Erinaceous Rapid have got good early pace, and they might make it awkward early on. Vatican Jinky is strong over 5.75. Lenson Joker is the second favourite in the anti-post prices, and he looks odds-on for the second semi-final. Go Marco Polo may surprise a few by turning the tables with Larkhill Jim if gaining a clear run, whilst Kulanga Flyer might be there or thereabouts at the line. The third semi-final looks the weakest, but also wide open. It doesn't look to be too much between Special Deal and St John's Flyer, and the traps are reversed this time. Brickfield Dream could be the answer to this heat, with Lethal Luxury being outpaced to the bend, and he may be able to get an early lead and stay there. Brickfield Dream for Ernie Gaskin. The Coral Essex Vase continues on Wednesday night with the final live on Sky next Tuesday. Or perhaps the connections of the Vase finalists will be dancing the night away at the popular Kennel Hands Dinner and Dance being held for the first time at Harlow Stadium. If you want tickets or more details, contact John Simpson on 01268 289 117. That's 01268 289 117. A look at the forthcoming opens. On Thursday there's action at Henlow, Perry Bar and Walthamstow. Friday, more opens at Doncaster, Poole and Romford. Saturday sees several minor finals, including the Robin Hood Midland St Ledger at Hall Green, the Hunt Cup at Reading and the St Mungo Cup at Shawfield. Sunday's highlight is the Harry Holmes Memorial Final at Sheffield. This opens at Crayford and Nottingham on Monday. For all the latest news and results, visit our website, thedogs.co.uk. We're broadcasting live from Romford next Tuesday. 3 valuable finals up for grabs, the highlight being the Essex Vase. Don't miss it.
The Dogs, in association with the British Greyhound Racing Board.